Hello, dear folks. Welcome to the show. My name is Jack Chow on the East West Show with Proud with G&E TV. Yes, for quite a few times we put together shows talking about Rotary subjects. And I myself, they nickname myself as a Rotarian. I'm not a member, but yet I feel I'm in the door already. The reason being that for me to be able to say that I'm in one foot in the door already is that I really like their approach. Several approaches. There were one time we were talking about their water approach to the most unlucky or unfortunate areas of people there, and about their medical aid to people, to certain people in certain areas. And now we're talking about a brand new subject about a World Peace Conference. And we call it the Middle East Conference. How about that? So today joining me in the big conversation, in the brand new subject, is my good friend Mark Berrigan, the Assistant Deputy Governor of the 5300 District. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And then in the coming year, you will be the acting assistant governor of the same district, starting officially. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, executive assistant governor.
Executive.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay. So exactly acting. Exactly acting.
Thanks, Jack.
Right?
Yeah.
And next to me is my good friend. You know her. She's my backbone. Luann Arredondo. She wears lots of hats, more than I could name. First of all, she is the community member of West Covina City, and also she is the founder and CEO of LABC, which is a big firm that lots of people turns to with the problems and walk out happy. Right? And also she is a proud Rotarian. She is the assisting governor of the 5300 district of the Rotaries, right?
For Group 6.
For Group 6. All right, good. So to both of you, welcome.
Thanks, Jack.
Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Thank you. And I want to be very honest with you. I especially like this subject. For quite some time, ever since we started the crisis of Middle East, at least we made it even worse by waging two more wars to the troubled pot. I've been thinking about how we get another approach rather than military approach, rather than sanction approach, right? Is there anything else? Now I seem to see the light about doing it. We call it Middle East Conference. So can we please, Mark, brief our audiences about the incoming Middle East Peace Conference, please?
Sure, Jack. Our this year's Peace Conference will be held this Saturday at the John Wayne Performing Arts Theater at Glendale High School.
Oh, yes, that's here, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
And we expect just a full agenda and event from performing artists to a peace and art and video contest. And then along with that, we're also going to have the discussions on from our distinguished panel members on prospects for peace in the Middle East. And we hope that we have gathered the right chemistry of panelists to lead to provoking thought. And that's basically what our agenda is here, is to truly reveal another option outside of the traditional options that are currently on the table.
All right, good. All right,
Yes, sir.
very good, very good. And to my audience, my appreciation goes to Lou. It is Lou who brought Mark here. So even though I know you better than I know Lou, but still, through
Jack.
Lou, I got you here. What a party, right? So
Yes.
Lou, I know you might have different perspective, or you might have a general perspective about this approach, call it the Middle East Peace Conference. So what's your approach, please?
Well, I think one of the wonderful things that Rotary International does, and particularly our district, is Dr. Garbus Duryegi and created the Peace Conference 26 years ago
I see.
in order to find a means and a positive platform to create peace initiatives around the world. So the focus this year on the Middle East is important. It's important for our local communities. As a commissioner for the city, it's important for me to understand the differences in the cultures in our city. Having the understanding and a venue such as this for individuals to come together, share ideologies, and discuss other avenues like Mark indicated to create peace and mechanisms will improve the opportunities for our youth to do that as they move forward in their lives, but hopefully also get individuals at a national and international level to sit up and take note and say, we can do this. We don't have to wage wars. We need to build and create opportunities for understanding.
Absolutely. All right. You're absolutely telling the truth. To Mark, am I right or am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong in case. Looking at that areas though, I'm not, but once again, I'm not discriminating any specific area of the world though. I'm talking about the characteristics of a certain area, certain region of the world, on the global earth. That area has, has been a part of troubles of all kinds, almost all kinds, for the past, if not at 1200, at least 1000 years, right? So anybody's efforts trying to find out who's right, who's wrong would fail. Am I right or am I wrong?
I believe you to be right, but let me add to that, Jack. I think what we have here is an opportunity. An opportunity to provide a voice. Not just the voice of the people that sit around the negotiating tables at the UN or in Paris, but a voice of the youth, a voice using modern day technology to be able to have an opinion come up from the roots, the ground level, people that are affected by this conflict and crisis. And I think if we can develop a method of communicating the key issues and who really is the losers here, how do we get to them to build that prospect for peace and then be able to model that around the world?
Yeah, all right. Hitting the nail on the head, exactly what you did. The thing is that by logic, you're talking about the fact if somebody tries, like the United States, like our military, tries to play God, there is no God there.
Absolutely.
There's all kinds of God. And an additional God doesn't make any difference, right? All right. If somebody walks in, play a judge, or play a grandma to punish whoever is wrong, you can't even find who to punish. Am I right? All right. So, like he says, quote unquote, it is a question to ask: who will be the loser if we continue doing so? Right. So, who will be the loser? You tell my audiences.
I think the loser is future generations. I think our role as adults, whether we're from the Middle East, whether we're from Russia, whether we're from the Pacific Rim, from the United States, we are stewards of our youth and their future. So our job is to set the model and the platforms that will create the sustainability that we want of our individual ideologies and cultures, because we want those cultures to be sustained over a period of time. So I think the real loser here, if we don't find the right avenue, is our future, our children.
To me, it would be our failure for this generation to face our posterity if we cannot handle that during our time and leave it on to the future generations, right? And on, like people have been doing for the past 1200 years, right? That's quite an approach.
If I can add to that, Jack, I think that's a great point. As a business coach, I often talk with many business owners that sit there and say, well, we've been doing it this way for 40 years. And I say to them, well, the fact that you're sitting here with me, how's that working for you? So if we don't start changing, making a shift in how we deal with these issues and how we leverage the key components, Rotary believes in the 6 areas of focus: from health and wellness to water to sanitization to peace and conflict resolution to entrepreneurship and to literacy. You know, those are important things that I think are mainstay no matter where you're living. And it's needed in the world.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So
You even included literacy.
this
What's
is
our approach?
this is why we're here.
To educate people.
Yeah.
To educate people. And water, which is basic, very basic, right? And sanitation, very basic. There's no, I was told, there's no almost no bathroom there.
Right.
It is everywhere. It could be everywhere. It could be anywhere, like that kind, right? So that basic approach, changing the standard, life standard to the people there, will make a huge difference, I believe.
Absolutely.
So, what would be the Rotary actually do once there?
Well, I think we are global now. Our job is not to get involved on a political level, but more a humanitarian level.
Okay.
So our job is the same regardless of where we're at in the world. It's to address the inequities from a humanitarian standpoint.
All right. Okay.
And if I can add to that, Jack, when you look at the Red Cross, you look at some of these relief organizations, it's always after the fact. I think the Rotary mission is truly to be out in front of it. What can we do to prevent these catastrophes from happening?
You're right.
So we take that proactive approach, modeling the areas of focus. We want to stop it before it happens.
All right. Okay. My dear audiences, I'm so touched about the thought, the concept of creating such an approach. The approach to me is that you really want to get to the very bottom root of the problem. The problem being the self-problem, though, you do not try to tell who's right, who's wrong, because there isn't nobody being right, there is nobody being wrong in the area, because that area, you're really talking about a mixture of everything. Everybody is everybody's friend, everybody is everybody's enemy. So I have problem with him, and he, well, is a friend of you, and I'm an enemy of you, and then together we're enemy of the fourth party, and the fourth party has a problem with the sixth. Number 6 is a friend with you, and you are whatever.
Becomes
It's a
mess.
mix. I have a map, literally, in a very kind of like vivid language, describe a situation, and I wish that I had it here because that really describes. Okay, my dear audiences, joining me is my good friend Mark Bergen. He's the here's the assisting governor of the Rotary 5300 district, and also my good friend Luann Arredondo. She bears the same position of 5300 district of Rotary International. We're talking about their big program of their second brand new approach called the Middle East Peace Conference, coming March 14th, right? Okay, now, so let's take a short moment now. When we come back, we'll find out what exactly we plan to do with the conference or at the conference. So let's please.